All right, here we go. Tuesday, May 23rd. We're doing a progress update on the garden. Backyard food forests. For all the seedlings that I have here, I had to remove anything that was in a container. These are seed trays and normally come in a non-draining tray so that you can feed from the bottom. But because it's been raining, they've pretty much been drenched, so I removed them and put them over there. But now they should be okay. I have to get to those over there because that's the next one that probably has way too much water. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Here is my Granny Smith apple. My beautiful blueberries. Eventually I'll pot them to their own because I think I want more blueberries. Here are my strawberries. One of my roses. My cherry trees. Another rose. I truly think these were dead at the store. I don't know. I'll have to see if I should return them or what, but I'll go down the list over here. One of my elderberries. My beautiful grapes. Started training them up this trellis, and I love the fact that they wrap themselves around like that. I find that hilarious. And I want to get them before they get to this branch, which I have to trim. It's a neighbor's tree, but it's in our yard, so we could trim it. Otherwise, we're going to have grapes growing up there, and you know what? That might not be a bad thing. They won't get any sun, though, so we'll see what happens. Look at all the brambles that I have to fix. Ugh. This is what happens when you don't do any kind of treatment for your weeds. But I just love these. Look at how shiny and beautiful this is. Isn't that the coolest? Look at this big ass leaf. I love it. It's gorgeous. Here's my serviceberry, which I turned so that it would get the sunlight and grow the other way. But I think because of the wind, it's being pushed, so I'll probably have to turn that around again. Oh, we get so much wind. We get so much wind. And yeah, I think it's going to have to turn the other way for the wind. Let's see. Oh, here we have, oh yes. I was very excited. I saw this the other day. Look at my pineapple guava. The buds finally opened. It finally acclimated to this crazy weather. I was so worried it wasn't going to do that. But it survived, and it's flourishing now, and there's spider webs everywhere. It's horrible. Well, no, spiders are good, so that's okay. Okay, next up we have our apricot tree, the pawpaw, and random apple tree. Has no label. I kept these pretty flowers for the bees and other pollinators. We have crabapple, more apples, doing very well. Some of them surviving better than others. This one, it looks like it still has buds. Yes, it still has buds. Here are the trees. Here are my plums. They're doing well. My blackberry, which I don't remember if I got last week, but it flowered. It had its first flower, and it was beautiful for maybe a second, but it got there. My other apple trees. Okay, hello, future self. um, it is May 23rd, 2023, and this is going to be a progress report for your backyard garden. I have tried to record this several times, and I kept coming across things that were either disturbing or devastating or kind of gross. I didn't want to record them, but it's important to document that as part of this process. So I don't remember if I deleted those videos. I might have, but I might show them with like some kind of trigger warning or content warning. um, yeah, but it's been difficult because I spent a lot of time working on the trees that are in the grow bags, which meant that where I normally had success on my tomatoes, on other vegetables and things like that, um, I've actually not spent a lot of time on, and those were pretty big failures. We've had a lot of rain this year so far, um, right after having a lot of chilly weather that went further into the year. And when seedlings aren't acclimated to that type of thing, they're already weak. And then if you add on top of that, that they get drowned out because of all the rain, well, that's on me. So I do want to show progress, but I just want to say, don't worry. We'll learn from this. We'll know what to do better for next season. And it's only May, so we might have some time to sow some other things. So here we go. Okay, well, any of the seedlings that I had in these cells basically had to be taken out of their trays because they were drowning. So I lost a lot of seedlings. These lavenders are pretty hardy because they're still around, and some of them are actually thriving. So survival of the fittest. Well done, everyone. And I don't want to get my hopes up, but there may actually be, you could see right there, a rose seedling, if it's not a weed. So we might have actually gotten some propagation this year. Those are some of my nasturtiums. Oh, I'm so sorry, babies. I was able to save most of them. What was this that was not okay in the rain? Oh God, my calendula. Only one of them survived. Again, hardy plants. Everything else is extra. I've got peppers and watermelons and other things. Yeah, but let's look at the trees. The trees are okay. This is my beautiful Granny Smith apple tree. Here are my blueberries, getting along just fine. I will probably end up putting them in separate bags though, so I get bigger bushes. These are my strawberries. I've eaten quite a few of them, and they seem to be doing well, but I do want to get a cover over them so that the birds don't eat them when they start to flourish. I think it's just been too wet. There was a travesty here. I am going to leave this uncovered from now on because when I opened the top of this, I found a bee. I think he got in there and he couldn't get out, and poor thing. I'm trying to make it better for the bees, not worse, so I probably will not be using these types of containers outdoors anymore, at least not with that kind of setup. Here are my roses, which I don't think like the all the rain, so I might put those up on a rock or something to allow the drainage to get through a little better there. Here are my cherry trees, looking good. Another rose that I think was dead at the store. I feel bad because I don't want any of them to feel left out, and then I buy the ones that look like crap and they're dead. So that's what I get. Here's an elderberry, seems to be doing well. And look at my beautiful grape leaves. That's pretty awesome. I wonder if I could use those for wrapped grape leaves for the dish. This one is going crazy. I love this. I love how they climb on everything and twirl around everything. It's adorable. And these are also pretty big leaves. Look, gorgeous. Now, that one looks like it's reaching for that branch over there, which is on a neighbor's yard, and I don't know, I just might let it. That's what you get for being in my yard. This is my serviceberry tree, and it is definitely flourishing. I turned it around so that it would start leaning the other way, because it was heavily leaning this way, but I see now it's probably because of the wind. So later I might just end up turning that around again because I don't want it to break because the wind comes this way into the yard. So once I turn the camera off, I'll go ahead and twist that around. Let's see, over here, welcome site. I found this last week, but I didn't have a chance to film it because I was leaving. But my pineapple guava has actually budded. I saw that the buds did not dry out, and I was worried that maybe it wasn't warm enough. But once we hit the 80s, it said, nope, we're ready. Came out beautiful. I love it. Here we have my apricot tree, my pawpaw that I bought just recently. That's supposed to be the mango of the South or something like that. And here we have our native cucumbers. So I might let that go. I might get a trellis for that or something. I don't know. We'll see. And unknown apple. Here we have Apple Tree Central 1. And don't know if this one is surviving. It still has buds, but these, it didn't like the frost. That was not happy. This is what I pruned off of the newly purchased Granny Smith apple, and this one is the original. I don't think anything's going to happen to this one. And this one over here was the other unnamed apple tree. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's going to grow either. It budded and then it left this earth. Here are my plums. There are marigolds in there somewhere, but I don't know. It's just a mess. Here is my beautiful bare root thornless blackberry. It had its first flower last week. I missed its bloom. I was away and I was sad, but it did its thing, so that's cool. Here's my apple tree bunch 2. They're doing pretty well. New growth. They look sturdy, and their roots seem pretty strong. Here's another rose that unfortunately may be dead, but we'll see what happens. I might leave them in there until next summer. They might come back, and I'll probably just put like a small ground crop, something very shallow that won't take up those roots. Here are my poor marigolds. They were just about drowned. But again, survival of the fittest. I'll be planting those out in a little bit. Here is my nectarine, and it looks like that is budding from the graft. Fantastic. So I don't know, I might, as an experiment, I might let that stay on there. We'll see if the other buds come up. Here are my beautiful, beautiful olives. New growth all over the place. Fantastic. Everybody's happy here. So many mushrooms. It's so friggin' humid back here. It's ridiculous. Here is my store-bought blackberry, which I need to get on an even plane because it's leaning over, but it's still growing and doing what it does, so it should be okay. Here is my hazelnut, which I think is dead. I think something came in here and killed the heck out of it. I also think that is a weed, but I don't know for sure. Yeah. Oh, so many weeds, so many weeds. And by the way, Irish ivy in Georgia is invasive, and it like takes everything over. Like, look what it's doing to that tree over there. It's just annihilating that tree all the way up. It's ridiculous. So yeah, we don't like it here because it just gets all over everything, and snakes and recluse spiders and all types of things and black widows hide inside the ivy. As you can see, people might think that it's a nice cover crop, but it hides a lot of nasty things that might be good for pests but not good for humans. So I might just keep it as something that's on the side and pretty, but I do want to use this area for some composting. We'll see what happens with that. These are my walnut trees, and that was one, that was another that it was supposed to, you're supposed to have two walnut trees so that they can pollinate each other. But that one I think is dead. I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. My pecan tree is doing well. And over here is the, I don't know if you can see that now. This here, please focus. Oh, you're so close. We're so close to focusing. Okay, well, you could see the little pieces are coming out, so we'll see where that takes us. We have here another elderberry and some more of these little cucumbers, which are trying to grab onto everything. Don't grab onto that. Another probably dead rose. These are my pears. Everybody loved getting some food the other day. Even this one is coming back. I had to cut it back quite a bit because it had some wind damage, but is that also growing from the graft? Yes, I'll have to see where those are coming from. I have another elderberry, another rose. Here is my kiwi, which is growing crazily. Wow, you shot up. Look at you. It actually weaved itself into this thing. Look at how it weaved itself in here. It went, I did not train it to do that. It did that all on its own. So I'll have to see if I could train it back on itself. With the wind though, that's gonna be an interesting, do that. See what happens there. Another dead rose. Here are my bulb plants and my peaches. Something's eating them, but otherwise they look okay. Oh yeah, I think that's powdery mildew or something. It's just there's hardly any sun back here in the springtime. So it's going to be very humid back here. So drainage is the most important part. The fine balance is really, what are you able to do when you have a really hot summer and a really humid winter and spring? because you can't really change the medium. That's not really going to work. And you ask yourself, like, should the container that you're putting them in have a lot of holes? Should it be, you know, in some people do the baby pools, those big blue baby pools. Um, that's great for the summertime when all we have is sun. But all we've gotten so far is rain. This is still considered, I guess, spring, and it's not been that hot, not yet. So everything is still just very wet. So optimal drainage is really what's needed. And I don't know. It's interesting to figure this all out, but we'll see. But that's been the progress so far. May 23rd, 2023. And this, I love to look at these because they're so furry and pretty, but I have to get rid of them because they're, oh God, why? Once this gets a little, oh, there's spider webs in here, so I'm trying not to disturb the spider webs and not put my hand right in them. But the wind is pulling everything to a certain direction. Oh, sorry. I just fucked that up. Definitely cut that out.